Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to get started with you. And today's masterclass is called 6 Secrets to Boost Energy and Improve Health. Hi, my name is Sue Ann Hickey. I'm a certified naturopath and creator of Body Typology, System for Lasting Weight Loss. So I really believe that having high energy and feeling great every day, all day, is natural at any age. But when I first started doing my consultations as a naturopath, and I used to ask my clients what they wanted to get out of the consultation, most of them would say, I need more energy and I want to lose weight. So those are two of the biggest things that I help my clients with. And there are so many hidden causes of fatigue, right? Beyond the obvious. And that's what we're going to dive in today. So thanks for coming along, for those watching the live and for those jumping on the replay. And let's get started. All right, so I believe that, feeling healthy, as I said, and having tons of energy is possible for everyone, but it's all about finding the right balance. So I love this picture. It's from a couple of years ago in the cycling club. It's my friend Glenn. He has his bike, his bag, his pump, and a case of beer underneath his arm. So we need our pleasures. We have lots of challenges in life, but you have to find what works for you to find that balance to help you feel good. Now, every person has so many challenges to overcome, especially in this day and age. We have aging parents that we're taking care of. We have children that have a ton of their own issues and stress and anxieties through the roof. It's been such a shit show the past 2 years. And how do you find balance in all of this? How do you overcome all these things that life is constantly throwing our way and come out on top and still feeling good with lots of energy? I think so. The most important thing that I do as a naturopath is determine the cause of what is going on, whether it's a digestive ailment, whether it's fatigue, overweight. I put on my detective cap to try and figure out why you are experiencing the fatigue, what is going on. And I hope with today's class that you're going to see yourself in some of these issues and you're going to figure out and have some of the answers. And I'm going to give you some insights as what to do for your own particular case. And if you stay around to the end, which I invite you to do, I'm going to tell you about how you can take advantage of a really special offer that I'm making only for those that are watching this either live or watching the replay. And after all this, it's really up to you to decide the changes you're willing to make, right? Because we are creatures of habit and we have things that are hard for us to change, myself included, obviously, because things become so familiar and we always want to hold on to what is familiar, right? But I'm going to give you lots of ideas. So I really hope that you don't just listen to this, that you take the time to implement the changes to make a difference in your life. A little bit of a brief back story about myself. So I was not always as healthy and full of energy as I am now. This is years ago when I first joined the Beaconsfield Cycling Club. And after each ride, I was toast, right? I would lie on the couch, unable to move for the rest of the day. I would be so exhausted. I had so many health issues going on, and I just did not have the energy and strength that I have now, even though I'm much older. When it was about 1990, I took my very first yoga class. Up until then, I was having a lot of challenges with, you know, all the childhood issues that still were not resolved, and trying to use alcohol and pot and things like that to try and help myself feel better, which really wasn't working very well. But with yoga, I started to change. I started to learn about meditation and spirituality. I started making changes to my diet. I started researching everything I could about diet and healthy eating. And I never looked back. I kept on going forward, making changes in my life and completely transforming my health and my life. At the time, I thought being vegetarian was best for me. And I really, truly believe that a plant-based diet is the most healthy diet that we can eat across the board. However, for some people, especially my thyroid body type, I wasn't getting enough protein. So it wasn't working out the best for me, but it can be really good for some people. And I had other health issues as well. I had hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, which I'm going to go into. I was hungry all day long and my energy was up and down all day long. I would crash in the afternoon for half an hour. I would yawn nonstop. My complexion was as white as a ghost. I had eczema on my hands for over 20 years and it wouldn't go away. So I had a lot of challenges going on. I was probably anemic with low iron. And then it was only when I really started taking my classes to be a naturopath that I learned all the things that I needed to do, all the changes I needed to make. I started eating right for my body type and I started feeling better gradually over time. I learned how to reduce my acidity. And then all my ailments completely disappeared. My eczema went away and never came back. My hypoglycemia became balanced. And I went from being one of the slowest people in my entire club to one of the fastest women out of like 450 members. So everyone was asking me like, what are you doing? Because I completely changed my health and my life. And I'm like, never looking back. I'm like, I'm going to eat this way for the rest of my life. Eating right for your body type works so amazing, as well as all the other things that I was implementing. My energy and strength, as I said, skyrocketed, and I still have full out energy all day, every day to enjoy all the things I love. Like, what could be better? So I want to go back to the basics, which are for in what I believe the 4 pillars of health. Number 1, diet, of course. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a huge advocate of healthy nutrition, healthy eating, replacing ordinary foods with healthier alternatives, really upping your nutritional density to get the best out of your diet for you. Exercise, of course, that's a given. Number 3 is environment, lifestyle, thoughts. So that encompasses a whole lot. Environment can be your physical environment, reducing your exposure to chemical cleaners in the house, chemicals in your skincare products, reducing your exposure to toxic people if you can, if they're not family members. And then lifestyle, of course, there's a lot of things you can do for stress management, taking time for you, carving out a little bit of time for you. And thoughts, I always say that thoughts is about 99% of what we do, because it's our thoughts that control what we eat, what we do, what we don't do. And so I work a whole lot with my clients on their thought patterns. And it's interesting that so many of my clients now, after working with me, they tell me that they're calmer, that they feel much more calm and balanced. And so that's really amazing. And then finally, supplements and vitamins, and we'll dive into those in a little bit more depth as we go forward. Now, what causes fatigue beyond the obvious? Of course, when we don't sleep well, we will be tired, but what else could be going on? I find it fascinating that there's so many causes that people have no clue what they are. And if you do suffer from insomnia, I found that for myself and many of my clients, when I wake up in the middle of the night, it's often because I have an overly active mind. So everything you can do to alleviate that, whether it's writing down everything that's going on in your mind, talking it out with a partner, maybe not in the middle of the night, but seeing a therapist. We need to unload our brain. And then you might find that you might sleep a little bit better, which happens with me, when I go on vacation or when over Christmas holidays, I sleep like a baby every single night. So I know stress plays a big role for me in my insomnia. Now, the number 1 hidden cause of fatigue I want to talk about today is hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar. So what does that mean? When you go too long without eating, the blood sugar starts to drop, and that can have huge consequences on how you feel and wreak havoc on your energy. So the main question to ask yourself is, how do you feel when a meal is delayed? If you answer, I feel dizzy, trembling, shaky, I get a headache, I feel super, super irritable, I have a foggy brain, I just can't focus anymore, like my brain just doesn't work. Those are all indications that you might have hypoglycemia. And hypoglycemia, you have to be careful because it could be a precursor for diabetes. So it's super, super important to balance our blood sugar. We have to know, of course, with blood sugar, what goes up must come down. So say you start your day with coffee, you spike up your energy with a coffee, okay? And don't worry, I don't take away my clients' coffees. That's perfectly fine. But then you have some cereal with, maybe it's sugary, so you spike up your energy and then it comes back down. By mid-morning, your energy is going down. Maybe you reach for a muffin or a Danish, up and back down. By lunchtime, you're starving. Maybe you have some carbs. The carbs is kind of sugar, so you're spiked up and down. So you lead yourself on this roller coaster of up and down. And believe me, I know firsthand exactly what that feels like. That was me in the past. And of course, maybe obviously or not so obviously, your mood swings will be following your hypoglycemic levels big time. Again, that was me. So up and down mood swings, following your blood sugar, never feeling very good. So just to go back before we move on, I shouldn't have jumped to the next slide right away. But so for hypoglycemia, what do? You need to increase protein, especially at breakfast. If eggs are your thing, maybe you'll have eggs or veggie pate or some kind of major amount of protein, like a bean burrito, something that you can get your protein in first thing in breakfast will help you be more balanced all day long. You may need protein again at lunch and at dinner, and always have a snack if you need to keep your blood sugar balanced. Make sure you include protein in that snack. So that might be nuts or something like that. But keeping your blood sugar balanced will be completely a game changer, guaranteed, if you have hypoglycemia. So the number 2 thing is poor digestion. When your cells don't receive the nutrients you need, you'll be struggling with lack of energy. And there's so many of my clients who suffer with different ailments. That could be acid reflux, could be intestinal gas, constipation, diarrhea. So many things can be going on with the digestive system. And we always say, well, you are what you eat, but you need to know you are what you eat, you absorb and assimilate. So if you have a food intolerance, often the body will handle that by pushing that substance out of the body as quickly as possible, which may result in diarrhea. When that happens, your energy cannot be low. You're not absorbing the nutrients and minerals and vitamins that you need. So some of the key culprits that I've seen over the years are dairy and wheat. I had one client who was coughing nonstop for 10 years. Imagine, she had been to see every single doctor underneath the sun. None of the specialists could figure it out. When she came to see me, I said, try cutting out dairy, cut back on wheat. What happens? That was the thing that was causing her excess mucus, because her body wasn't tolerating those substances. She stopped coughing. She was like, hallelujah. Her husband was also ecstatic because he had been listening to her coughing for 10 years. It was gone. When she went to a party and had some wheat or dairy, the coughing came back. She had her answer. You can do the same test. Maybe stop a few things that you might be think are causing your digestive issues, and stop them for 5 days, add them back in, and you could have your answer. And really another key question to ask is, what time are you tired? Say you wake up in the morning and you're really groggy. It takes you forever to get going. You can't wake up until like 11 or 12. You're dragging your feet. You have up and down energy throughout the day. And then your energy just crashes after dinner. You fall asleep on the couch. When you try to go to bed, you're too wired to fall asleep. If that sounds like you may have adrenal fatigue. So you need to rest, rest, rest. And also the adrenals love vitamin C. So that could be something you could add in. If you find yourself tired right after meals, like right after lunch, right after dinner, it could be your digestive system is struggling. So you may need to check out your diet. Can you add in more vegetables? Do you need more digestive enzymes? Like fresh vegetables, celery, and sprouts are super high in digestive enzymes. Maybe book a consultation with myself to figure out what's going on. If you tend to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and also you completely crash at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 12 hours later, that could indicate that your liver is congested. So you can help your liver slowly over time by cutting out the fried and fatty foods, cutting out the alcohol a little bit, increasing dark leafy greens and things like that. It will take time, but the liver can totally be helped with many, many natural things. So looking at what time you're tired is a key question. Now, many people have struggled with not drinking enough water, and dehydration absolutely causes fatigue. I know my boyfriend, he's an adrenal type, and they often struggle with drinking enough water. They just don't think about it. Sometimes like 5 o'clock, he'll be like just crashing. And I'm like, honey, did you drink enough water? And invariably he hasn't. So the next day he'll uptake his water intake and his energy will be higher. Now, herbal teas are fine for dehydration. People ask, how much water do I need to drink? You know, I hate to put numbers on things because it's so individualized. If you know me, one size fits all never works is my big tagline, because I think it's so true. We need more water if we're talking more, if we're exercising more, if it's the summertime, if you're sweating more. There's so many different things that play a role. If you want to generalize it, we can say about half an ounce of water for every pound of weight. So say you're 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water. What you can do is fill up the glasses with 75 ounces of water and look at how many glasses that is and see if you're getting that. But I always encourage you to make changes slowly over time. So say, you know, Sue-Ann, I super struggle with drinking water. I'm drinking only 2 glasses per day and it's ridiculous. That's all I can get in. So next week, try and have 3 glasses a day. The week after, 4. Implementing changes slowly is a lot more easier to do than trying to do everything like 100% and then giving up too quickly. If you're thirsty, usually that's a sign that you're already dehydrated. So try and keep a glass of water beside you, a pitcher of water beside you, bring a water bottle when you go out, and know that coffee, alcohol, and tea, not herbal tea, but black tea, are diuretics. So for each of them, you need to add in 1.5 cups of extra water if you're drinking coffee, tea, or alcohol, because they are dehydrating to the body. Now, number 4 is a lack of protein. Now, I know firsthand what can happen with a lack of protein. I was vegetarian for 16 years. As I said at the beginning, I believe a plant-based diet is super, super healthy, works amazing for some body types. For my thyroid body type, it was hard for me. We need to know, I learned this firsthand, that protein forms the building blocks of the body. It's essential for the bones, the skin, the ligaments, the tendons, the hair, the nails. All the metabolic processes use protein. Every single cell needs protein. So a lack of protein will really weaken the body over time. Now, next is, do you need supplements and vitamins? And you know, a lot of people tell me I really just want to get my supplements and my vitamins and minerals from my food, and I don't want to take anything else. And I don't like swallowing pills. I get it. I completely understand. So I would say you don't need supplements if you're you never have stress in your life, you're under the age of 30, you eat 7 to 10 fruits and vegetables every single day, because that's the only way to get enough vitamins and minerals that you need. You only eat organic, and you never eat any fruits or vegetables that have pesticides or herbicides on them, because those actually, the pesticides and herbicides, block the absorption of the vitamins and minerals. And you never burn the candle at both ends, and you're getting plenty of sunshine all year round, every single day. You eat tons of foods that are high in omega-3s, then no, you might not need supplements and vitamins, but I don't think any of us are doing all of those things, myself included. So I really believe that a few vitamins are essential for health prevention, right? Just to boost up what we need. And anemia and things like that may not show up on blood tests. You might see that when your blood tests come back, you might be in the norm, but are you on the high end of the norm or on the low end of the norm? So it might not show up. It shows up as normal, but you don't really know. Many women before their periods, during their periods, they need iron. Their energy goes way, way down. So just taking a simple iron supplement, really, really good quality, is essential. Maybe you'll have vitamin C combined to absorb more readily, can make a big difference in your life. So most people are not deficient in calcium, much to the dairy industry, as much as they want to convince us that we are. No, most people are deficient in vitamin B12, absolutely essential. I learned later on that when vegetarian, or if you're not eating red meat, like I still don't eat red meat, I eat chicken and poultry and fish, that you need to supplement with B12. And I can go in a lot more to how much and how long and all the things. If you jump on a call with me, we can talk about that. Vitamin D. I live in Montreal in the Northern Hemisphere. We need vitamin D from September until June because we don't get the sun at all. And iron, as I said, super important for women when they're menstruating, for many people. Magnesium, many people are deficient in magnesium because our soils are depleted, right? With mass farming, it's hard to get enough magnesium. And omega-3, super important, helps with inflammation, helps prevent Alzheimer's and dementia. Like the brain is fatty, so omega-3 is really great, and it's hard to get enough omega-3 in our diet. There have been studies done that many, people, to prevent Alzheimer's and dementia, increasing vitamins, eating really healthy, and exercising and stress management is key to help prevent dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, Candida is, in my opinion, a very, very little known, huge epidemic. So let's discuss this just for a little bit. Candida happens when we take antibiotics. So antibiotics are absolutely necessary for getting rid of the bad bacteria, but they also wipe out the good bacteria. And when we take antibiotics repeatedly, we wipe out all the good and bad bacteria, and we always have some yeast in our gut and in our body. Now, this yeast can take over too much space. And what happens is Candida sets in. Even if this was when you were a child, maybe you had recurrent ear infections. I've seen this often, and you were given antibiotics over and over, Candida will stay there. And some people know about Candida and think, well, I've never had a yeast infection, so I don't have Candida. You can definitely have Candida without having any yeast infections because it's in the gut. Now, what happens when we have Candida? Number one, we have huge amount of bloating, especially when we eat things like wheat or sweets. We have sugar cravings that are off the charts because I tell my clients, it's not even you. The Candida wants to be fed. So the Candida will crave these sweets or carbs or bread or pasta and things like that. And when you eat them, you might notice you don't feel that great, but you just crave them more and more. Other things that can happen with Candida is you'll feel like you have a bit of a foggy brain. Your energy will be low. You might have, as I said, bloating, intestinal gas. So there's foggy brain. Everyone is different in their symptoms. Those are some of the generalized symptoms. But I can tell you that I've helped dozens of women completely transform their health, and some men also, because some men have Candida as well, by following the Candida cure, which is a simplified, like really healthy diet for 3 months. You have to cut out the foods like sugar that will feed the Candida and take a few key supplements to kill off the Candida and balance back out the intestinal flora. It's not that hard to do. And it will ensure that your Candida goes away and never comes back. Because as long as the Candida is there, your immune system is weakened. So you may have recurrent urinary tract infections. You may have recurrent sinusitis. You may have these recurrent infections that keep on coming. You need to take more antibiotics. The immune system gets weakened and you stay in this vicious cycle. When you get rid of Candida, you will completely get rid of those infections. They won't come back. Your immune system will be strong. Your body will be strong. You will feel, without any exaggeration, on top of the world. Candida also causes depression. So that can be one of the causes of depression without you even knowing. Now, a lot of my clients, as soon as I tell them they have Candida, they go onto the internet and they start researching everything. What you will find is literally hundreds of conflicting information. You can eat this during the Candida cure. You can't eat that. Do not do that because sure, you can try, but really It's so much easier to work with someone who's helped dozens of people do this, who has the right plan that works guaranteed, knows exactly the supplements that you need to help you get rid of the Candida. So that's a huge one that causes a huge amount of lower energy. So by all means, reach out. I'd love to help you. If you feel that you check those boxes off and you have had antibiotics repeatedly, you might have Candida. Now let's dive into my favorite topic, eating right for your body type. So I know I said the 6 biggest things to help your increase energy, but I added one more in the middle. So now we have 7. Bonus for you. All right, so the 4 body types. What is this all about? There you have a picture of the 4 body types. Yes, there are some generalizations about what the body type looks like. So, the adrenal type on the left can have upper body that's bigger, broad shoulders, large chest. Think Oprah, right? That strong character, that strong body. Pituitary tends to gain weight a little bit all over, like baby fat. The thyroid type can gain weight around the middle. They can gain a lot of weight around the middle also, that kind of tends to be all over, but generally they have longer limbs. And the gonad type is also known as the pear-shaped body type. They tend to gain weight lower body. However, and this big caveat, you cannot tell your body type simply by looking at the pictures alone. When I do a consultation with my clients, we look at your personality and your food preferences, your food cravings, your energy levels, if you're a night owl or a morning person, the ailments that you're most prone to. So there's this whole lot of things that go into figuring out what your body type is. So let's dive into each one. There are 4 body types for women, and there are 3 body types for men, because only the women are the gonad type. The men don't have that type. Now, this is Anna, who followed her body type plan, and she was eating a really big breakfast and a medium lunch and trying to eat a really small dinner because she thought that's the only way I'm ever going to lose weight. Now, Anna is a medical doctor in Spain. I work with people all around the world, and she lost easily 20 pounds. She was so surprised that the medical doctor never heard anything about this, found it intriguing how well it worked. She's a really huge advocate for eating healthy, and she was so happy to drop the weight she wanted to and feel good, because she totally couldn't figure out why nothing was changing when she was trying to do all the things that everyone said you had to do. So some questions to ask to determine your body type. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Generally, the pituitary and thyroid types are the jump out of bed, ready to get going in the morning, full of energy, and they will not be able to stay up late because they, like myself, my brain turns to mashed potatoes at night. I cannot keep on going, start a new project. It's like, okay, time to call it a night and just like read a bit of a book and go to sleep. The morning types are like higher energy in the morning, so they need bigger breakfast in the morning. And now the people that are a little bit slower in the morning, even if they might be up and at 'em, like the adrenal type, ready to get the kids off to school or something like that, ask yourself, given the choice, would I really take things a little bit slowly? Just, have my coffee, kind of leave me alone. Do I like that kind of energy in the morning? Just like kind of easing into my day, even though my energy might be high. So if you're kind of like take things slowly in the morning, that could mean that your metabolism is a little slower in the morning. So best for you could be a very small, light breakfast like Anna, medium to lunch, and dinner is the main meal of the day. So let's dive into next. We'll go into the adrenal type. So generally the adrenal type has a strong upper body, as I mentioned, and they are very sociable. They're warm, they're strong. They're the strongest of all 4 body types. The guy in the red on the left would be the adrenal type. And they like their alcohol, beer or wine. Often it makes them feel stronger. They might like fattier fried foods, steak, hamburger, French fries, chips and things, but they also like their sweet foods as well. And they tend to be they might be calm on the exterior, but have a lot of underlying inner stress. So they really, really need to learn how to better manage their stress. For them, like for Anna, a small light breakfast is perfect for them. And if they say they go out for brunch on the weekend and they have a bigger breakfast with eggs and bacon and hash browns and toast, that could actually trigger them to be hungrier all day long. So it's incredible what changes can be made just by eating right for your body type and how you can balance your energy. Next, the gonad type. Now, as I said, the gonad type tends to gain weight more lower body, and they are the motherly caregiving types. So they will choose often professions like a nurse, massage therapist, a psychologist. They love taking care of others. They might have 3 or 4 kids, or 2 or 1, or if they haven't had kids, they might take care of their pets really well, or their parents, or their job. They're completely devote themselves to the project at hand, or especially their kids, and often to the detriment of self. So they might put themselves last. And if I could wave my magic wand, the main thing that I would love for my gonad types, my pear-shaped body types to get is how can you take care of yourself as well as taking care of others? Because you are wired that way. You will never change. We do not expect you to. But can you take care of yourself a little bit every day? Carve out some time. That old adage of, putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. Don't wait until something happens to your health before learning how to take care of yourself. The gonad type also needs more sleep than any of the other body types. So they need to tuck themselves in early, and even on the weekend, make sure that they sleep in, because that will be a game changer for losing weight. For the gonad type, eating less salt and fatty foods will help you so much. Next, the thyroid type. And they tend to gain weight, as I said, around the middle of the body. They are very, very sensitive. They are morning types. They jump out of bed. They are nervous, and thyroid types like myself, we tend to work a little too hard. We like to keep busy. I love what I do, but it's challenging for me to take time off to take an entire weekend off, take vacations off, but it's essential for me to recharge my battery because, batteries can get low if we don't take that time off. So the thyroid type, what else? They crave kind of sweets more, carbs, bread, cereal, pasta, and they need to, what else? Get to bed early. Early to bed, early to rise is the best thing for them. For a lot of thyroid types, as I said before, with the hypoglycemia can be there. Sometimes they love to be vegetarian, but ensure you're getting enough protein at every meal and keeping your blood sugar balanced. Now, finally, the pituitary type, they tend to gain weight all over. Now, you might think, well, I gain weight all over, but wait. Know that there's very few pituitary types. It's very rare. So when you first gained weight, did you gain weight more upper body? Could you be maybe an adrenal type, or lower body? Perhaps you're a gonad type. Because the pituitary type, some of them are Asian, most of them are men. So if you're a woman, it might not be a pituitary type because there are not as many of them. The pituitary type, I love this slide because I don't know if you can relate to this. What the hell is that? Oh, just my mind. I tend to have a very overly active mind. So the pituitary type are quiet thinking types with superior intellectual capacity. They tend to live in their head. So they tend to be like mathematicians. They love statistics. They might like chess. They're might be like kind of solitary, spend a lot of time alone, but it's best for them to get out and be with others and relax and enjoy life. Some challenges with them is they love dairy. They love ice cream. And so much dairy can sometimes increase mucus in the body, and that will wreak havoc with the respiratory system, right? It can be more sinusitis, bronchitis, asthma, and things like that. So cutting back on dairy. And the pituitary type, as they are really morning types, they don't need a lot of sleep. A big breakfast is perfect for them, and a very small, light dinner is good for them. So I have a lot of clients, not many of them are comfortable with having showing before and after pictures, but this is Claudia. She says, not only did I lose an incredible 19 pounds and 10 inches, Sue-Ann helped me to completely eliminate my emotional eating. The entire process felt natural and was effortless. I wish I had learned how to eat this way decades ago. So it really is a journey with working with me. We cover every aspect of your health. If weight loss is something you're thinking of, we also look so much into eliminating completely your emotional eating and all of your triggers. This is Lesia. She dropped 36 pounds. She's a super busy mom. Claudia also is a super busy mom. Lesia has 4 kids, some of them with challenges. So she really didn't have time to exercise, and she did not exercise. She just followed her plan and dropped the 36 pounds and felt so much better, so much happier, fewer sweet cravings. And yeah, it was so great to work with these people. Now, besides those, some of the things that I mentioned, there are many other causes of low fatigue, right? There can be low thyroid, which can show up on blood tests. However, again, if you're in the low range or the high range, it might not show up as abnormal. Some of the key things to look at are, do you feel cold, especially your hands and feet? Do you feel cold, especially at night? Do you have dry skin? Are you losing your hair? All of these things might indicate a low thyroid, as well as the blood test hopefully will show it. Adrenal fatigue, we talked about those symptoms. Depression, of course, if you're feeling depressed, your energy can be really, really low. So there's many, many things that can cause fatigue, and you really need to be the detective and work with maybe a naturopath as myself to figure out the causes of your low fatigue. I really firmly believe that nothing will change if it doesn't give you pleasure. I'm here to have fun with my clients. I have pom-poms and stickers. And, you know, if you want to make changes in this complete drudgery, like I always tell my clients, if you want to start exercising, you haven't done anything in a while, do something that you enjoy. If you hate the treadmill, by all means, do not go on the treadmill. Find things that you enjoy, find foods that you love. That's why it's so important to find an individualized plan, because everyone has different food preferences. So how can we work with that? And when you do enjoy the process, it's just, you know, so much easier to make the changes. My whole goal with my client is to help you implement changes slowly over time that you can then sustain long-term for the rest of your life. I do not have quick fixes. You're going to lose 20 pounds in a week. I do not have a magic pill. It's all about helping you implement the changes slowly over time that you can sustain, as I said, long term. And for emotional triggers, we dive deep into a process that I trained in almost 2 years ago called RTT. Now, this stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. And it's essential to help you go back and figure out what triggers are there. What's the cause of those emotional triggers? Why are you reaching for food when you're stressed or something bothers you? We find the triggers, we release them, we reframe them, we completely find out the reason why, you determine that, and then we help you completely release them going forward. And I believe firmly that our health is the most precious gift we have. So whether it's emotional health, physical health, you know, so many people and friends I find out diagnosed with cancer, different diseases, ailments, inflammation, bodily aches and pains. It's so much about prevention that is key. You know, we can look back and say, geez, I wish I had known that before. I wish I had started making changes before, but now I have to take like this medication, or now I have this or that. Do not wait. It's now. Time is now to make the changes to ensure that we age gracefully, that we age and we're able to enjoy all the things. People are living a lot longer. You want to live longer in health. Because I firmly believe that no matter how old we are, if we have lots of energy and we feel great and we feel young, then we feel great. I don't know about you, but I want to be riding my bike and climbing mountains and going hiking and enjoying all kinds of outdoor activities when I'm in my 80s or even in my 90s. My dad went to the gym until in his 90s, and he took exercise classes because him driving was getting scary, so he couldn't drive to the gym anymore. But he took his exercise classes in the residence that he moved into, and he lived till 97, and he was autonomous like the whole time. So it is possible. Now you have two options. Now, your first option is to try to figure it out on your own. As I said at the beginning, I hope that I've inspired you, that you will implement some of the changes that I've given you here. But you might continue to get stuck, and you might keep struggling and feeling frustrated, feeling deprived, sabotaging your own results. So the other second option is to take action now. Get the support you need and learn how to find the causes of your fatigue and how to eat right for your particular body type to give you the energy and strength that you want. You can get the accountability and learn exactly what to do to release what's been holding you back in the past. When you work with me, you get one-on-one care, you get individualized attention and personalized support and accountability that's key to help you make the changes you need. And you'll have nonstop energy all day, every day, and easily drop the pounds if you want to. So if you want to sign up, I invite you. There'll be a link either above or below in the replay and email that I'm sending this out with. And you will be taken to this board that looks like this, where you can find a time that works for you, book the time that works in your schedule to jump on a free discovery call for 15-20 minutes with me. And we'll talk about, what's going on, what health issues you have, and see if you're interested in jumping on an initial consultation with me. Now, as I said at the beginning, I'm offering a special discount for those that are stayed right to the end. So either you're watching the replay or if you're watching live, I'm inviting you to get ready to completely change this part of your life forever. As I said, you can have tons of energy and lose the weight if you want to. Apply now to create the guaranteed results that you're really wanting. So your next action step is to apply before Friday, and I will give you 20% off your initial consultation. So my normal consultation fee is $180 for an hour and a half initial consultation, but you can get it for 20% off, which is like $144 if you sign up before Friday. Now, if your schedule is outrageously packed and you can't find a time that works, just send me a little message and maybe you'll book next week because you can't fit it in this week. That's fine. Just let me know that you're interested and we'll make it work out so that you can have 20% off your initial consultation. I'd love, love, love to work with you. And I'd love to help you transform this part of your life. So I really thank you for jumping in and watching this. And I hope I helped with learning lots of things. Be sure to book your discovery call. It's free. You can have tons of energy. And thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye.